All right, so good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you present here and joining me from different parts of the world. This is your host, Harsh, again, and I wish you a warm welcome back to the live market analysis series. Believe it or not, this series is now gaining a bit momentum. So, thank you all for the kind support and thank you all for tuning in once again here. All right, I think we've got some questions already. I don't know. Karen is a big question actually. Karen, I will take your question in just a few minutes if you don't mind. Definitely, we are going to discuss the trade setup. All right, I'm keeping your question on hold right now, but I'll be addressing the question right away. Just give me 2 minutes. Before I begin, let me first welcome those who are joining in this series for the first time. Uh, we have been doing this since last 3 to 4 months now, and precisely what we do in these sessions is uh, bring out the live charts and analyze wave counts along with trend lines, Fibonacci ratios, support resistance, and try to find out a potential trade setup. That is what my friend Karen was referring to. We had discussed Euro USD a couple of weeks back, and yes, so this is what is precisely meant for the live market trading strategy series. And before I start, I would like to request or make a humble request. First of all, this is your session. You have any questions, please raise it then and there. If I'm not able to answer at that point in time, I'll take it back at the end of the session, or maybe we can interact on email. Point number one. Always feel free to interact with me. It's going to be easy for both of us in that sense. Point number two, follow up is very important. As my friend Karen said, I've seen many of the repeat audiences, more of them like Jahana Zaib is coming again. Karen obviously is coming again. So stay tuned with the series and you will start to see the benefits if you want to really become a chartist or an analyst on your own. All right. All right. All right. So once again, thank you for being here and let's get started. Before we start the live session, I need to read out a disclaimer as a normal I mean, this is the normal thing to do. I mean, according to regulations. So the disclaimer goes as this written visual material is comprised of personal opinions and ideas. The content should not be construed as containing any type of investment advice in particular and or a solicitation of any transaction. It does not imply an obligation to purchase investment services, nor does it guarantee or predict future performance. FXTM, its affiliates, agents, directors, officers, or employees do not guarantee the accuracy, validity, timeliness, or completeness of any information or data made available and assume no liability for any loss arising from any investment based on the same. And also, I would like to add that any past performance that we discussed and we won or we lost, it's not a guarantee that it will give the same results in future, right? Because that is what it is. I have another question. Oh, thank you so much, and glad to hear that you earned some money, Tuzar. How to know about candlestick analysis before support and resistance? Muhammad, Mr. Muhammad, uh, I will try and touch base with candlestick if possible in this session, but please remember this session is for those who are wanting to do live analysis on the chart and they already know some basics. All right. uh, Please go on the history. There are videos on the candlestick patterns, and even my colleagues are doing some videos on the Japanese candlesticks. You will get good insights over there. And this session is predominantly based on a little advanced, where we try to do the wave counts and put the Fibonacci's, trend lines, etc. in place. All right. Now I want to take the question of my friend Mr. Karen. Uh, he says that we are. Can you talk about Euro USD trade we discussed 2 weeks ago? Of course, yes. We analyze waves on daily and 1 hour, both pointing to a buy signal. Entry point 1.1422, stop loss, yes, 1.13. Uh, it was not 1.13. If it was, I think it was 1.1213. There's some mistake over there. I don't know, Karen, but whatever it is, I will touch base with that once again. Risk is 130 pips. Yes, it was 1.13 at that point of time. Some wave counts have changed, all right, and I'll be touching base with the same right away. All right, so I've got your question, Karen, and this is what we are going to do in the next couple of minutes. I'm going to bring up the Euro USD chart in front of your screens now, and hopefully we get started by now. All right. Let me bring up the chart. All right, here we are. Situation changed a bit, but the direction doesn't change. So let's analyze it once again. Today's agenda for analysis is we start with the Euro USD, then we touch base with the dollar index, and we go to gold chart. And if time remains, we also will touch upon Dow Jones. Yeah. Yes, of course, Mr. Tuzar. Nobody is 100% right. It goes without saying. See, we are absolutely based on probabilities. Our analysis is based on probabilities. The more objective we are, the more better it is. So this is what I try to do, and this is what I try to discuss in these sessions. All right. Absolute interactive. Please do not hesitate to ask any questions. Let's get started off with the Euro USD. I'm going to begin with the wave counts here quickly and then follow through up. Okay. Before I begin, there is one more question. Collins, my friend, if possible, I'll touch on pound as well. Don't worry. A lot of talkings going there regarding the pound. I'm going to quickly do my wave counts first. Let's do it quickly. That was wave one. I'm not going into complete details of the subwaves as well. I'm simply doing the main wave counts because we have enough things to work upon on the smaller time frame as well. But yes, we need to do our, we can at least read the counts. That was wave one, wave two, and then one, two, three, four, and five. So we have the third wave here. I will take this question in a while. I think I have a question. Let me complete the wave counts first, and I will take the question in a while if you don't mind. Wave 4, for those who are absolutely new and beginners, Wave 4 unfolded as a triangle. There you have wave A, B, C, D, and E. All right, and there we have the fifth wave. Now this is in place. This was in place 15th of August 2018. All right. Since then, it has been all sorts of possibilities and probabilities that the Euro USD has been doing, and believe it or not, it has been quite a topsy-turvy journey since the last 3 months. Emmanuel, I think there is Emmanuel, I think there is some problem in your local audio. Please kindly check it. Uh, Abdul Wasu, I'm a new person, should stay or leave as I have. Please stay, Abdul. Abdul, anything you see here is going to give you some value, all right? So I suggest please stay and stay tuned and ask questions wherever possible. I'll answer them, all right? All right. Now, predominantly, when you have a five waves movement, what we can expect is a three-wave counter trend movement. Now, this is where is all the confusion, and I would not say confusion, but all different sorts of probabilities which have come up. You have wave A. There is an expanded flat scenario which is taking place in the euro. So, wave B going below the fifth wave, and ideally, I'm going to use an arrow here. Wave C, wave B could be here or it could be here as well, any point. But now the low is 1.1271 or precisely 1.1220, right? So we'll come up to the trade in just a moment. Let's do our wave counts first. So we've got a three waves A and then a potential three waves B, which could be plotted here or there. All right. I think I've got a question. Dear Emmanuel, this is something which is being faced personally by you. I'm speaking the same way as I was, so please try and check your audio. I think I'm not getting any complaints from any of our fellow members here. I'm sorry that you're not able to hear, but there is some problem in the local audio, I suppose. All right, Samson has confirmed the audio is good, so thank you very much, and let's get started off. So ideally, the if the expanded flat scenario is is what is turning up to be, then we've got an A here, a potential B there. Ideally, we should see wave C, which can go all the way up to A or just test it. So this is the range we are expecting, somewhere between or close to 1800 levels or maybe just above that, close to 1900 levels, all right? Believe it or not, it can go a bit further as well. Bala is asking a question. What is the naming convention you are using for 1 to 5 and ABC? Very quickly, Bala, I would like to say that in the Elliott wave naming, when you see a five-wave movement, you label it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then when you are expecting or when you see a three-wave movement, which is a correction, you label it as ABC. All right, please look into the past videos for the basic explanation of what is a 5-3-5. All right, and the best part is Moheb, I'm so sorry. I will not be clearing my throat so loud. The problem is many of them are saying that they cannot hear me at all, and Moheb is saying that my audio is too loud. All right, let's get down to business again. We need to complete euro, dollar, and gold in this session. So we've got A, B, and we're expecting wave C up there. I should say somewhere here. Yeah, welcome Sakshi. You can see the webinar after it has ended on the history. I mean webinar section. All right. I think I have categorically mentioned that all the webinars are recorded, and you can find the recordings in the webinar history section. So please look into that. Sayed, I think I will come back to the question that you're asking about wave three. Yes, Sayed, I'll come back to the question you were asking about wave three. Yes, there is a rule. There is a Fibonacci correlation. All right, I will answer that question in just a while. Osama, let's find out the potential trade setup in just a while. Please stay tuned. All right, let's continue for a while and allow me to analyze the chart first for us. It is going to help us all. I'm going to take the Fibonacci retracement of the entire drop of the 5 waves. All right, there you go. So the 50% is around 1925, 1.1925. It can go all the way towards 1.1925 as well, or maybe 1.2075. So the area where euro could actually land up is somewhere here. This is the potential target for euro if the expanded flat stays well. All right, we need to dig in a bit further, and I'm going to take the questions. Please, I'm going to take the questions in a while because I will not be able to complete the trade counts and analysis of euro and index. So let me please complete. What time frame are you using? This is the daily chart. All right, this is the daily chart. We'll go back on the now on an hourly chart in just a while. All right, and then where's the trend line? So you need to plot the trend line as well. These are the tools that you would want to use more frequently to help your trading decision. All right, so the resistance trend line is coming up, also coinciding somewhere around the 1.8 mark. All right, so all right, what is this? What is the bottom line which will nullify or which will force us to look the other way around? 2 weeks back, what we discussed was a low at 1.13. I don't know because when I was in another seminar, uh, the trade that we did was this level 1.1218. All right, and if you are looking even further, because what happened after last Friday, maybe slightly risk has shortened a bit. We are looking at 1.1274, or precisely we are looking at 1.1289. All right. So this is the situation. We need to stay somewhere below that low, and if you are watching the chart here, you've got a nice little engulfing bullish candlestick pattern right there. All right. So all in all, the daily chart is pointing out that we might want to buy on dip still, because the overall structure of an ABC expanded flat could still remain. All right. So let's try and find out what could be the potential trade setup at this point in time. I'm going to go on an hourly chart. Normally, we reduce the time frame when we want to find out actual trade setup. We found the boundary, point number one. We see that it's 5 waves down. We also concluded with a high probability that an expanded flat ABC is in the making. Now, if that structure is going to hold, the particular low should also hold. That is point number one. If prices break below 1.27 or broadly below 1.2, 1.1218, it is gone. All right, so that will be our risk. We have determined our reward on the basis of the Fibonacci ratio. And now the question of Side wave 3, I would like to just answer your question. Wave 3 is normally 1.618 extension of wave 1. I repeat, wave 3 is normally 1.618 extension of Fibonacci extension of wave 1. But there is not a rule. In general, it is the 1.618 extension. It might go to 2.618 as well if the momentum is too fast. All right. Let us try and also use the same principle, but in a different time frame, on a different time frame. I hope I have answered your question, Said. Now let me move on to a lower time frame. Excuse me because I have a bad throat, and I'll try and correct it next time. But at this point in time, I cannot help it. So we are getting on to an hourly chart. Okay. Let's get down to business. When you are changing your time frames, you better do your wave counts according to the recent swing that you can see on your chart. So what I can see right now is the recent swing was a down swing. All right, that doesn't mean that it's a downtrend, because you always need to keep the bigger picture in mind. You all know that there is a small upswing that is being worked out, and we are going to find out a potential trade based on that. But this is the downswing which has occurred, and drawing your trend lines, believe it or not, I cannot stress much further. These four tools, if you are good at the wave counts, the trend lines, the Fibonacci ratio, support, resistance, etc. Only these four tools, believe it or not, you're almost there 85% of the time. Moheb, I do not use any pivot point, my brother. I simply use the Fibonacci ratios and the stuff that I'm showing it on the screen. Exactly. Fibonacci, support, resistance, trend lines, wave count. Yeah. And believe it or not, once you start practicing this again and again and again, and once it gets into your subconscious mind, you will not even realize it, the game becomes so interesting. All right. So the trend line is there in place. Short term, all of us can clearly witness here that the resistance line has been broken, and prices are now into the buy zone of the trend line. All right. Those who don't know, the south side is the sell zone and the north side is the buy zone of any trend line. So right now we are in the buy zone of the resistance trend line. Let us mark the immediate resistance which was taken out. So that was the immediate resistance, close to 1.14, precisely 1.1392, which was taken out on Friday. All right. So if you go by the story, bulls have registered themselves by taking out this price resistance. Right? What are the counts looking like? The boundary which we should be working is this one. All right. So on an hourly chart, I'm simply placing the lower degree wave counts here. I'm using a Roman nomenclature, but I think we can count 5 waves. We've got wave 3 there, and then a shallow little wave 4. I already have a question. I'm coming back to that. Just let me try and complete the waves here. So potentially we might have done 5 here. So I'm labeling this as wave 1, okay, of 1 higher degree. Let me look into the question. Hamad, I'm really sorry that you have an audio problem, but I think that problem is local to your laptop or PC. Kindly check your audio. We are all good and sound. Ideally, ideally, what should happen now, according to the wave count? If what we have done here is correct, that is, you've got wave 1 here, that is again 5 waves. So ideally, we should see a corrective drop, which is of 3 waves, something like this. A, B, and C, if it is a zigzag, all right? And we will also like to take help of some Fibonacci ratios always, because without that, you cannot move with confidence on your probable support resistance. So let me zoom a bit. I think it's clear now. We've got 5 up and we are expecting 3 down. So let's pull out the Fibonacci ratios here. I think we again have a question. Tabisa, you will find the recording of the webinar of in the webinar section. All right. Welcome. No problems if you're joined late. Stay tuned. Please stay tuned. So here's your Fibonacci ratios. Let's do that quickly. I think we got a question again. Right click on the speaker icon. Okay, Tuzar is trying to help our colleague who is finding audio problem. Thank you. What are the levels of our interest? The level of our interest, the zone which can find support is this. Support can be found. Wave 2 can terminate between 382 and the 786. So this entire zone is a potential support for us. All right. It starts from 1.1388. It can go all the way towards 1.13. Let's let's say 1.1350. So we've got a range, a potential range to buy. All right. And another interesting point, if what we've done is perfectly all right and perfectly correct, then a very interesting thing can happen. You see, that was a resistance line, all right? So when prices were hitting from the south side, it was facing resistance. Now the prices have crossed it and they are going to hit from the other side. Let's say from the other side, it can come and hit all the way towards 1.1330. The markets move very fast. So when if they hit the backside of the trend line, all right, that area should be support, but it should happen very quick because the more time it takes, the angle is going to go down, and it is possible that it can break this low, and that if that breaks, that means it is gone again. So be very watchful. The area where we want to buy is between 89 possibly and 1.1350. Again, please remember the risk is 1.1289 or maybe 1.1270, right? It doesn't make much difference, only 10 points. So here is the potential trade setup for Euro USD right now. The current price around 1.1420. A potential entry, potential buy, I'm using the word, could be between 1.1350 and 80. That is a range. Clear stop loss. There is no potential stop loss. It is a clear stop loss. Your stop loss should go below the head of wave one. Now the wave one head is at 1.1289. So you better be below that. That brings us to 1.1, let's say 1.1270, the safer side. Don't put it so lower, it doesn't make any sense. 5-10 pips lower is enough, more than enough, lower or higher. You've got a question. All right, Martinez, you don't understand the Fibonacci ratios. Okay, let me quickly try and explain. The Fibonacci ratios are used to find out potential support and resistances. So when the swing is on the upside and when you take Fibonacci retracement, you find potential supports at a 38.2% or a 50% or a 61.8% retracement of the swing. So those are the potential supports, and that is the way you determine where you would want to potentially buy the market. All right. And when you take Fibonacci extension, you get potential resistances in an uptrend. All right. So this is an upswing, a potential five-wave movement on the north side, which is being retraced right now. So we are trying to find out where potentially we would end up buying the market, where would be our risk, and then where would be our reward. All right. So Fibonacci ratios are used for that. I will sometimes come up with the basic understanding of Fibonacci ratios and potential targets. Let's find out potential targets. And those who are conversant with another technique which is quite prevalent, or which has been quite prevalent, is this one. You just count the waves from the left side. See, Now, if this wave count is going to be exactly what we have decided, then what you're going to see is a probable inverted head and shoulder. You can see a probable inverted head and shoulder in the making. Now, this is the head. That is your left shoulder, and that is your right shoulder. So that could also be when the value of euro appreciate because of non-farm. Mr. Khalid, how do you know that the non-farm will appreciate or depreciate euro? I don't know. But with the question that you're asking is, won't the value of euro USD appreciate? I don't know what you're talking about non-farm, but here on the basis of technical analysis, we are projecting that the euro USD should move on the north side. So I don't know if it is because of the non-farm payroll or something like that, because who knows what figures are going to come out. All right, what I know is just the chart, but what we can discuss is just on the basis of the chart analysis. But it is on the north side, and that is what is appreciation. That's what you're calling. Yeah, this charting platform is a trading view. All right. So, Mr. Khalid, what I do normally is just do the chart analysis. That's all. I don't really worry much about the non-farm payrolls or the fundamentals or anything which are coming out. And I never try to base my trade on the news flow that are going to come out. And believe it or not, when you know the patterns properly, you don't need any fundamental news or events to support your trading or analysis. And this is my conviction, which has been developed since last several years now. I know it's hard to believe. Sorry, I know it's hard to believe in a session of 1 hour. Normally, most of them are programmed to follow the fundamentals coming out, but so let's see. This could be a test of our analysis as well. All right. So let's find out a potential target. We use Fibonacci extensions for that. I'll be giving three inputs. I don't know which is the third one, but I'm going to safely take a 50% retracement and try and project the outcome. Let us compress the chart a bit. I don't know if Mr. Syed is still there with us, but Mr. Syed, if you are still there, 1.618 is the extension which we are looking at. Is the third wave, all right? It's the third wave to terminate at 1.618. I'll go back on a 4-hour chart. We can quickly mark up there. There you are. 1.1628 is wave 3. So we have wave 1, we are looking for wave 2, and then we will take the extension towards wave 3. This is 1.618 Fibonacci extension, which is around the 1.1628 mark. And it should not stop there. It should go on for 5 waves, and that's why 2 weeks back what we discussed was a potential target at 1.1800. All right, so let me put in the figures here. We have a question before that. All right, Syed, thank you again for confirming. So we have two potential targets. Let's say wave 3 is going to supposedly end at 1.1620. and then you can follow it up with the wave 4 drop and wave 5 extension. If it does go there, should be around 1.180020. So more or less, the direction of the potential trade still remains the same for us. Maybe we have another question. Mr. Muhammad, yes, it is basically based on the waves are Elliott waves, yes. Where and how do I buy, sell, stop, and buy, stop? Looking at this uh, analysis. All right. Valentine, you on this analysis, I think Tabiska, you can do this on an Android phone, no problem. Valentine, coming back to your question, you on the potential trade setup. Let me explain it to you again. You need to buy between 1350 and 1380. Potential buy is between 1350-80. Your stop loss should go exactly over here. It is no potential, okay? It is 1 point, this is our risk, 1.1270. So what is the risk that is defined right now? It is about 80 pips, okay? And then you got to take profits. You got to take your profits at these two levels, all right? Around, you can find the recordings on the website itself in the webinar section. You can find the recording uh, of this session on the webinar section, okay? Valentine, I'm not sure if you got what I told right now. You have to buy around 1.135080. Place your stop loss. This is your stop loss, not a buy stop or a sell stop. It is a simple plain stop loss which you can put in your MT4, and then that is your take profits. You don't say sell. You just say take profits at 1.1620 and the remaining at 1.1820. Let me also try and define the risk and reward. The risk is, let's say you buy around, so 65 is the average. Risk is about 100 points. And reward, 1365, 1415, 250, and 450, 450 pips. All right. And let me also explain, if you buy one lot, you may intend to set up a buy limit, or the best thing is, if you are on the chart, if you are, please listen to this carefully, okay? Analysis may change. It's not a constant thing. Price analysis may change suddenly or over a period of time. All right, like my friend said 2 weeks back, we analyzed euro. The stop loss was at 1.13. It got hit. All right, but still the direction is the same. We are still on the long side with the stop loss at 1.1270 and targeting 1.18. So if possible, if you're on the chart, then you may want to keep a watch and enter the market exactly where you want to. If you are not on the desk, which is not possible, you cannot be on the desk all the time, then set a limit order. But be very careful. Don't just set a buy or a sell limit. You have to set a, let's say if you're setting up a buy limit here at 1.1360. All right, follow it up with the stop loss and the take profit. Don't just leave that buy limit open. That's not a very good idea, or that's not a very good practice. Like, you never know. I mean, the direction may change, and euro may reverse uh, below this trend line. If the prices break below this trend line, which is acting as a support, then we need to potentially change our trading direction as well. All right, so Be very careful when you are placing limit orders. Always your limit orders should be followed by stop loss and take profits. Vivekananda, you don't need to analyze and sit in front of your screens all day long, believe it or not. You just need to, like what we've done this analysis, all right? It's on an hourly chart. It has taken a few days to build this boundary. It may take a couple of days to build another boundary, and then it will take another week or so to extend. So once you have done your analysis on an hourly chart, it is good if you don't analyze it for the next 3 or 4 days. But don't leave your trades open. They have to be closed. When I say they have to be closed means you have to have an entry, that is buy or sell, and that entry should be uh, followed up with a stop loss and a take profit. If you leave your entry orders open, that means you're leaving your trade on a chance. So don't try and don't practice to do that. It's not a very good habit. All right. When is the best time to do analysis? Any time is the best time to analyze, Mr. Vivekananda. Analysis is the most important thing that you do. So anytime you analyze is the best time for you. All right. There is no better time than when you say that I want to sit and analyze. All right. There is nothing like New York session is the best to analyze, or a European session is the best to take rest or something like that. I have been following up on this Euro USD boundary since last 3 days now, but I'm not doing anything. I mean, there are no potential trade setups. The potential trade setup for a buy is going to come up only here. So the analysis is already done. So now what you do is just sit and relax, or maybe you can place a buy limit and a stop loss and a take profit, or you would want to be on the chart until it's triggered, and then you can leave it alone. All right, but this is the way you should try and follow. All right. Quick revision. We started with the daily chart. We did our wave counts. Is there a currency pair that fluctuates or is dependent on Euro USD? Mr. Khalid, I assume that you are a fundamental guy. There could be pairs that may be dependent on Euro USD. Like say for example, the next chart that we are going to analyze is exactly normally it is exactly opposite of Euro USD, right? But please do not base your trades only on the probability of if one is going up, the other should also go up, or the other should come down. It does not happen all the time. So make a habit of analyzing the chart, spend some time on the analysis part as well. And if both of them are confirming, then you are never going to be at a loss. All right. So we started on a daily chart. We did our wave counts, Fibonacci ratios, trend lines, and the recent potential wave count, which is wave C, could be rallying towards 1.16, 1.18, right? And then we analyzed on an hourly chart. We found out the recent boundary, which could be potentially working upon. And you can see, as we discussed, the waves are could be three waves, A, B, and C, which can bring prices down all the way towards 1.1350, and then it could take off from there. But please remember, the buy zone or the support starts from 1.1388. And if the markets are very fast, sometimes they are very fast, it can pick up from a 382 as well, right? We have another question. Can you, for instance, place order as you so demonstrate you don't leave your trade open as you were saying? All right, I will try and do so. I don't have a terminal on this PC, but let me see if I can. I think I don't have a terminal on this PC, but it's very simple. Let me see. I know sometimes it can be difficult for you as a trader, but it's absolutely simple. If I have a demo account set up here, let me see if it's coming up. But if it is not there, I will not take up much time. All right. It's not there. I will have to set up a demo account. I'm really sorry. I don't have a terminal active here, so I will not waste much time. But I will try and speak to you, Valentine. You go on the order screen or create a new order. You will have a market order or the price where you want to enter. You just select not market order, but you said pending order. All right. When you select pending order, it will ask for a price or entry price. You just place an entry price, let's say 1.1360. Then it will ask for a stop. You say 1.1270 over there, and then it will ask for, there will be a limit order. You just type in 1.1650 over there or something like that, all right, or maybe 1.18, and then say click OK, and then you will see this order being placed onto your terminal. All right, just try doing it and you should be fine. So that is Euro USD for us. Let's quickly go back on the dollar index. We have a question from Mohuni Maxi. Mr. What are the best books? All right, my name is Harsh, so you can call me by my name. You can just type in Harsh. What do you think? Okay. Uh, what are the best books for technical analysis and Elliott waves? No book can teach you technical analysis, believe it or not. They are only good to read, but then unless and until you sit on the chart, you spend time on the charts, you sweat your armpits, your chair, spend unless you fall in love with your chart analysis, you're not going to get into that groove, all right? So bottom line, you have to spend time with your charts. But if you want to learn Elliott waves, the resources, the book resources, as you asked, you may go to the history of webinars as well. But since you've asked, it is from A.J. Frost and Robert Prechter. You can find out the wave principle from Prechter and read that book. It is good enough. But then, if you don't practice, it will not solve your purpose. So, my best luck to you. More practice you'll do, you'll fall in love with the wave counts. Sheena is asking a question. Can you go the Fibonacci extension? All right, I'll do it, Sheena, for you. When and why should I switch from daily chart to hourly chart? Yes, Mr. Gopinath, you can call me Harsh. Directly address me by my name. Otherwise, it's not going to be a family, okay? All right, don't call me sir or something. Just call me by my name. I'm answering Sheena's and Gopinath sir's question. Sheena, let's flip the chart again to or maybe euro. Let's do it here itself. Fibonacci extensions are done on the boundary which is being worked upon, all right? So I'm going to compress this. The recent boundary which is being worked upon on the dollar index right now is the down one. Here is your trend line, and the boundary which is being worked upon is this one, from 96.68 to 95.64 is the boundary which is being worked upon. So what you do is go to the Fibonacci. Here you can find out Fibonacci trend-based Fibonacci extensions. Click on that. You need to give 3 inputs if you are using trading view. You don't need to do, you just need to give 2 inputs if you are using an MT4. But since this is trading view, 3 inputs are required. One, then two, and a potential retracement, which is not there, but I'm just giving a 50% or 60%. All right. And there you go. These are the extension. The first profit level is 100%, which is 95.21. You compress the chart, go below, and you'll find out 1.618. All right. All right, Gopinath sir, you need to go on a daily chart for a bigger picture. All right. Once you've got your bigger picture in mind, once you've got your wave counts clear, and once you've got your recent boundary, to find out the potential entry, you need to switch back to the smaller time frame. Like for example, we got the bigger picture here that dollar could be dropping towards 94 levels. But then we go back on an hourly chart, we try and find out the recent boundary which is being worked upon, and then we find out Fibonacci retracement and extensions. Right, I think there are a lot of questions coming up. All right, I think I answered Mr. Gopinath's and Sheena's questions. Let's go ahead. I'm going to take questions for now. I'm a new person, Michael. How can I learn about Michael? No problems if you're new. Stay tuned to my sessions here. If you are interested to learn Elliott waves, and you can join many other webinars as well. Live analysis and Elliott waves are my expertise and my passion. So if you want to learn, stay tuned with my sessions. I'm doing 4 webinars each month. And just a declaration, 5th of February is my next live webinar. That is 5th of February, the same time. All right. Where from I can get rules of all waves. Mr. Syed, please go back on the history of webinar series. I have given some basic rules and guidelines. You can begin with that and then take it forward from there. All right. John is saying, how does it work? What works? Oh, he's already left. All right. Where from I can get rules? I have answered that question. Please, what currency pair? This is not a currency pair. This is the dollar index. Syed, I think if you're listening to me, you can go to the recording section, download the or view the basics of Elliott wave principle and trading strategies. You'll find the rules there, the basic rules. You can start from there, Mr. Syed. All right. There were 5 rules which I said, but even if you know the 5 rules, at least you can begin to count waves on your own. There are actually many guidelines. As I said, if you want to read a systematic book, pick up Mr. Robert Prechter's book on the wave principle. All right. Three rules are just the basic. We discussed 5 rules last time, so let me quickly analyze the dollar index chart again. Or let us analyze gold actually. I will extend the session for a few minutes, and let us try and extend gold. I will quickly run you through the gold analysis, which is looking good right now. All right, here is the daily chart. I have already done the analysis, not to waste much time. The boundary which is being worked upon is from 1365 to 1163, and it has already retraced more than 60%. What I've done is we have taken extension of the recent move. That is, please remember 5 down. I'm not labeling 5 down. This was ideally followed by 3 up. Here, the corrective movement is a capital A, capital B, and capital C. Prices are quickly approaching the capital C. As you can see here, the 1.618 extension is pointing towards 1320. How did I get that 1.618 extension? By simply placing my Fibonacci extensions on the boundary here. A and B, and there you are, 13, 20, 23, your potential Fibonacci targets where you should find your C. So when you have an impulse down followed by an ABC, that could be a potential area where you would want to sell or go short. Potential short entries would come in around this level, somewhere around 1320. Your stop loss would go at around 1365, and your potential targets clearly it should go below 1160 for sure, right? That is the wave structure for gold. I will stop my or pause my analysis for this session. If you have any further questions you may want to ask, please ask, or I would like to call this session a pause. Please remember, the next time I'm coming here for the live analysis session will be on 5th of February, same time, Tuesday. What did you consider when drawing the first line? Which line? It is not a line, it's just a wave. This is not a line. I just explained the wave. I'm sorry. I need to take you back a bit in the history. They were right from 1051. It has been making a triangle. Now, this is wave A of the triangle, wave B of the triangle, wave C, wave D, and potential wave E, which is retracing the wave D here. Right? So that was not a line, that was a wave. So we have A, B, C, D, and wave E. So when a triangle is ending, it is ending 5 waves, wave E, and then it breaks out of the triangle. All right. This same time, 5th of February, this same time. Will gold USD fall? Gold should find potential resistance around 13, 15, 13, 20 zone. So it could be a potential sell entry around that region, Osama. 6 p.m. of my time, yes, Tuzar. Yes, I normally come 30 minutes earlier, but I start around 6 p.m. my time, yes. All right, so I think there are no more questions coming up. I think we've all answered most of them. And thank you again for being here. And I will be back on the 5th of February with another live analysis session, all right, which is normally based on Euro USD, dollar index, gold. We will touch upon Dow Jones as well. Thank you, Mr. Viveka, Nanta, Sakshi, Tuzar, all of you. Have a great day ahead or evening ahead according to the time frame that you are joining. And I will see you back. Don't forget to tune in at the same time, 5th of February, uh, for a live analysis session. All right. May God bless you all and have a great day. Yeah, bye bye.